So we're here with Chef Hiro. Himself. He's joining us for some questions. So our first question was just looking at your website, looking at your social media. Now being here, what inspired you to start Chef Hiro in the beginning?
I hated my job. Pretty cut and dry. So I was working at the post office. Started this whole thing. So I started the post office 2015. So after about 2 years, it's like, all right, there's a lot of wear and tear on the body. I can't do this for like 40 years or anything like that. I gotta figure something out. I'm an okay athlete, but I'm not like LeBron James or anything like that. I don't have any like crazy talents that would make me $1 million. So it's really just sitting down like, all right, what can I do to create residual income so I don't have to work, you know, here at the post office. All right, I'll figure something out. And then one day it was just on Facebook, and I saw somebody post some food that they had made and they were selling or whatever, and ego kind of kicked in. I'm like, I can do better than that. And I blew it off, and then I made some oxtails that night and posted a picture on Facebook. And I was like, oh man, that looks great. Do you have any extra? And a bunch of people commented, like, I'll buy some. Like, I don't believe it, but I'll make some next week. Whoever wants to buy some, comment. 50 people commented, you know, so the next week came, made a big batch of oxtails, which is super expensive. It's like $10 a pound. Made a big batch. I was like, all right, y'all, I got it ready. Everybody who ordered, come pick it up. It's like 6 people showed up. So I lost a lot of money. But from there, I was like, all right. Next time I tried it, I took deposits. And then you just build off from there. So then you get more people, a little bit more popular. And it's like, oh man, I need a name, a logo. It's like, all right. And let me get nice boxes to make it look good. It's like, I should get like a food truck or something so people aren't coming to my house to get food and stuff. And we just go from there. So from there, just it happened like that.
So this question kind of connects into how you left off in your last question, but who's taught you how to cook in the first place?
YouTube, yeah, for the most part. My dad is French and Senegalese. My mom, she's from New York. So, you know, a mixed cultural background and stuff. So, growing up, it's not like I cooked or anything like that. But, like I said, when I made that first order and stuff, and it's like, man, you're not taking it serious. But then you start, you know, a couple of those Sundays, I made like $500. It's like, I should put some effort into this. And you get on YouTube and you're learning how to cut, how to season, how to properly do things, how to make like aiolis, which is like mayonnaise, learn terms. So I start studying it, just teaching myself like that. So I just ended up on my off days from the post office and stuff, just watching YouTube videos on how to cook, how to cut, how to do certain things, and then practice at home. Just build from there. So now it's to the point where I'm like, I'm good at it. You know, I've been putting enough, you know, effort into it, enough work, practice into it. So a lot of self-talk.
Yeah, I think that's super inspiring because when I was reading your website, I know that this cooking, correct me if I'm wrong, it started in the COVID-19 pandemic, right?
That's when I got viral. So, let's see, that was 2015. I actually, like I said, that day I sold the oxtails was actually about the end of 2017. So 2018 is where I was like, all right, I need to take this serious and start teaching myself. And then I started getting a logo and came up with the name and the theme. And then after that, after, you know, practicing, a couple people booked me to cook for like private dinners and stuff, just practicing. I saved up, you know, and well, that whole 2018 I was selling out of the apartment on Sundays. So I was selling dinners on Sundays, and then saved up enough money to buy a food truck. So I bought the food truck in 2019, which was an interesting summer because I didn't have any restaurant experience before, so it was kind of a learning on the job type of thing. You know, I didn't know anything for the most part. But I had a food truck and I'd sell out on Sundays, so I got really popular. Then the pandemic hit. But when the pandemic hit, I couldn't get the truck because the licensing department was shut down. The health department was still open. So during the pandemic, I found a bar that had went under, and called the owner, asked him like, "Hey, is the kitchen still intact?" He's like, "Yeah, but it's a shutdown." I'm like, "I just need the kitchen." So he rented it out to me. So I parked the food truck next to the kitchen in the back, and I would cook on the inside and run the orders to the truck. Technically, it was still outside, and it still did 6 footprint during the pandemic. So during the pandemic, it's not that I started, it's that I kind of blew up. So I went from like maybe 8,000 or 9,000 followers to like 13, 14, something like that. It's just super popular, just went really viral. So, a lot of other restaurants were shutting down, and me already doing orders through Instagram and Facebook, I didn't have to hit that learning curve. You notice during the pandemic, a lot of restaurants had to step their social media game up because now you're relying all on takeout and online delivery. I started out of the apartment doing takeout and online delivery already, so I was already ahead of the game. It's just the pandemic kind of shone a light on me and a couple other local chefs and stuff. You know, just at that time, just a timing thing.
Really, listening to that came up with an interesting point, because the last small business we interviewed, of course, the COVID-19 hit them really bad. They were kind of struggling. Where, as for you, I feel like you overcame that, put it to your advantage with the social media. Yeah, I think that's inspiring.
Yeah, it kind of, I'd say quadrupled everything, for me at least, only because it's like, I'm already at rock bottom. It's not like I can get any worse, so it didn't really affect me at all, honestly. So it's kind of a reverse effect compared to other restaurants that did have to shut down and lay off a bunch of people. But I'm gonna lay off myself. I'm like, no, it's just me anyway, so it's fine. It's fine. Definitely.
So I know, looking around, it's a lot of anime, and that's something I'm interested in, so I had to represent.
Yeah.
Why'd you decide on making an anime themed other than just your love for anime?
I just wanted something different. I remember like being high ups one time, a couple times, and like it's a lot of sports bar. You don't really see too many lounges or bars or restaurants that have like anime games. You see a couple ramen shops in like LA and stuff like that, but as far as here in Columbus or down south, you don't see too many restaurants. So I think Mines is technically the only restaurant, that actually has, anime figures. A lot of the other spots are just ramen shops, just super spots. It's like Mines. With my menu, I have like tacos, turkey legs, just a wide variety of items and stuff. Just like anime, I figured it's a good market. It just made sense.
Was that something you got into as a kid? Naruto was my middle school, and all that. Was that something for you?
Yeah, mine's growing up was, I'd say Dragon Ball Z. That's everybody's first for the most part. But even when I was younger, it was more like Inuyasha, Yu Hakusho. It was like older school animes and stuff, which at the time I didn't get it. Now I'm older, I'm going back and watching them, I'm like, oh, these are amazing. How did they stop these? But, from there, you see it on your way to bed when you're a kid, and now you get older, you can actually watch it and pick what you like. You start to develop and get an understanding of which ones you like, which characters you want. So, for me, Naruto is cool. And right now, I'm on like Vinland Saga.
So now this is going back to the COVID-19 pandemic a little, but it's an open question about just the challenges you faced opening up the restaurant when you started.
It's a lot. So I mean, with COVID, like I said, it didn't really affect me, or I didn't notice it. Like I've been through worse personally. I was still small, but on the come up. So COVID didn't really affect me. It was hard, but it's not impossible. You know what I mean? So that's how I kind of approach everything, especially with this, with me not having any cooking background and any type of background in the restaurant business. It's like, if I can do this, like I've seen people do amazing stuff. There's no reason I shouldn't be able to open a restaurant and at least figure it out. So there's plenty of road bumps. Like one of them, the food truck, for example. It's like the scavenger hunt of stuff you have to do to be certified to get your license and stuff. And I didn't have any of it. I didn't know where to go or who to talk to get information and stuff like that. But eventually you just gotta figure it out. Just Google it. Like there's plenty of technology. Like my parents always said back in their day, they had to go to a library to get information from stuff. With us, we have everything right here. So it's just a couple Google searches, a couple phone calls, and then go in the right direction and just figure it out. So with COVID, of course, getting that kitchen inspected and licensed was hard, but not impossible. And after that, my building getting sold, that was a major challenge because I was in a bidding war and I was just renting out the building. So it was only a temporary thing because the owner didn't know what was going on with COVID. I didn't know what was going on with COVID. No one did. Eventually, we offered it up, like, rent is, I think, $5,000 a month or something. It's like it's between you and another tenant that's interested in it. So we're going through this little bidding war. Of course, I lost because it was another pizza franchise. Took over, they had way more money. Still new, so I lost that and then spent a year looking for different properties. I got denied on 14 different banks here in Columbus and then turned down by about 12 or 13 properties, so potential buildings and stuff. And that was about a year. So finally I got my SBA loan to go through and bought my truck and then found this place and how I pulled this off, but I used the working capital that was supposed to be for the food truck. I used it and opened this spot. So a lot of the stuff in here was me and my dad just, like all the walls, I had to redo the walls myself, redo the floors, and the furniture I had to resand and redo it. Came from YouTube, but figured it out. Just, make it happen. So
what kept you going? I mean, that it was hard, probably. Facing that challenge, and what was something that drove you keep going and face those head on?
I've been through worse. Like it's like the way I approach a lot of things in life in general is that even with social media, you can see how other people live their life. So you can see other people going through horrific things. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to figure it out, especially here. Like my dad's not from, so he's from Seneca, born and bred in Seneca. Came over here. This man has like 2 PhDs in physics. There's no reason I was born and raised here that I should be able to figure out, with the tools given. It's not like my parents were not rich. I wish, but any set of tools you have here is still a set of tools. You can still make it work and make it happen. So the only thing that kept me going was understanding that somebody out there has it 5 times worse than me, 7 times worse than me. Still got a set of tools you can use to make anything happen. For the most part, you just have to be willing to make it happen. So, of course, there's going to be some sacrifices and stuff like that, but again, have a certain set of tools, figure out how to use them, figure out how they work, use what you have, do what you can. That's pretty much it. There is to it.
So this is going back to, I know you mentioned your parents being from you guys from Senegal. Did they have an impact? I mean, checking the website, I know your menu is for a vast number of cuisines. Did they have an impact on the varying cuisines and the varying special menu items, that the combos?
Yeah, mainly like they raised us to be open-minded with food at least. So a lot of foods eaten in Senegal, even in France and stuff, not eaten here at all. They look at it like that's weird. Like that's weird. It tastes great. I don't know why you guys aren't eating it. So with me, it kind of gave me free range to experiment, and also with me not having a real culinary background, I don't know what's wrong or what you can and can't do with food. So everything is trial and error. I don't have any fear of failure or messing up something because I didn't have the education to do it in the first place, if that makes sense. So with my parents, their cultural background, my dad's and my mom's American. I could take a little bit from this culture, a little bit from that culture, and see if it works. It's like, oh, that tastes horrible. That's not working. Just try it again and just keep doing it. Trial and error, trial and error. But eventually you get a lot of stuff that works. Like tacos, it's like a jerk taco and stuff. I was completely by accident one day. I didn't have all the ingredients to make a certain recipe, so I used what I had and made that. And a couple other recipes are Senegalese inspired, but with an Americanized twist to it. It just gave me free range to try out new things.
Did you think connecting that to anime made people more open to try it?
Yeah, I think the anime kind of drew in a different crowd. So even with the anime, being the base of the restaurant, it's like I drew in multiple audiences and stuff, which is also one of the business moves. It's like, all right, I'm gonna have food that's gonna draw in a bunch of foodies and people that like good food. But then there's an anime audience here that likes anime and stuff. They're just gonna come to see the anime. And if they just happen to like the food, that's another one. So it's another audience right there. Then you got another set of audience that don't care about food or anime. They just care about what's popular. It's like, all right, this is popular right now, so they're gonna come here just to take Instagram pictures. So it's just as many gimmicks as possible. I wanted to have here. And me liking anime is just a plus.
So I know that you have one food truck. There's another food truck that you're planning on opening, right? The YAME food truck.
Yeah. That was actually another truck that was supposed to open after my first truck. But so that first truck, like I said, 2019, I was selling out. It was super great, and my plan was to have that truck and open another truck. But I was so popular and I was doing such great numbers. It's like, man, I'm gonna just open a second Chef Hiro truck. And then, of course, the apocalypse happened, and I had to do the kitchen during the pandemic. But then those numbers quadrupled. So now it's like, I don't even have time to think about the other truck. The brand is taking off. So now at this point, I've got that truck, which I'm about to send to Atlanta because it's going to go on tour. This brick and mortar, I just signed the lease on my second location up north. It'll be up off of campus, up by Clintonville. I want to say, what the address, but it's up on High Street by that giant eagle up there. So that's another location. And then the truck will be in Atlanta by fall, winter to get ready to open up another location down there. So the YAME truck, it'll get started eventually, but the idea behind that was a vegetarian, vegan version of this Chef Hiro. So all of the same stuff, just swap out all the meats for vegan items and stuff, and make it 100% vegan. But kind of got pushed back because the brand is kind of doing really, really good.
Is there anything in particular that you hope people take away from their experience in the restaurant or when it comes to food truck?
Just keep going. Like it's a wicked game, but the same could be said with any lane that you choose to pursue, even with like school or sports. Stuff is gonna happen that is like completely out of your control. Like no matter how much you prepare for it or think that you know about it, something can come out of left field and just completely change everything you thought you were. The pandemic was a perfect example of that. There was no way to prepare for that. There's no safety net or nest egg in the world that could prepare any business for anything even close to that. And it happened. So the ones that failed, it's not like they didn't try. It's just you guys failed and other people, figured it out. And it's not saying that they didn't try or that they didn't try or anything, but it's just a circumstance. Some things are just completely out of your control, no matter how much effort you put into it. But there has to be effort put into it first. You know what I mean? So you can't fail if you never even try. So the only thing I would hope that people take from my experiences is to keep going. Is it 14 banks? I got denied loans to open up a brick and mortar from 14 banks, and then I got denied leases on 12 to 13 different properties, which doesn't make sense when you consider like I had 756 credit score, 40 to 50,000 in cash, 10,000 in gold, and then I had my parents even put up their house, which is over in Old Town East. It's an older house, but that property alone is at least 200K, 300K. So I had all these things that they tell us you need to get a loan and you'll get approved like that. Not 14 times they said no, it's not enough. It's like, but just one time, one banker, gave me a shot, and she couldn't figure out why I was getting denied, and went through a bunch of things. It took a year, but finally got approved, and then it's just taken off from there. So since getting approved, this spot open. I got the new food truck. Got the Atlanta spot in the works. I just signed the lease on the second spot. This is all within a year. I just had my year anniversary a couple days ago. So it takes us that one yes, but you have to try. You have to try 1,000 times. It takes you one time for things to work out.
Is that what inspired the chalkboard to keep going?
Yeah, the chalkboard was just something I wanted in there because I knew people would come here and just hang out, and I wanted it to be a different vibe. I didn't want to go to a restaurant out here that has music. It's not like crazy loud music or anything. There's usually new anime or like popular anime playing on the TVs and stuff. It's really chill vibes. But a lot of people, most people go to bars as like an escape from work, escape from the house or something like that. So I wanted this to have that same type of feel as an escape. It's a safe place. Where nothing matters once you come in here. There's no windows out here. Once you come in, it's just anime, food, relax, chill, just escape whatever's going on. The wall was just for people to leave little notes and stuff like that. So if you're going through something, maybe you just got done going through something, just write a little message, because you never know who's going through the exact same thing. A little message might be the one little kick they need to get through. So that's what it's like, the chalkboard.
Now, I know this is at a different level, but can you tell us about the Hiro Guild, which is on your website? I think that's another step up from, in addition to being a restaurant owner, you're trying to inspire people who come to your restaurant to, break out of the situation they're in, get help if there's having mental health problems.
Definitely.
What inspired that? What do you hope to aim that, your impact? What do you want with the what do you want to achieve?
With that started so it's just a non-profit organization, and that started out as me just wanting to help people. Like no matter what level you're at, you always want to look to get better than people. So that I started off doing like free seminars here once a month. They're called Free Game Mondays, and we just go over different business topics and stuff. It's 100% free. I let people come in. Usually we get 10 to 20 people to come in, and I think the last session I had my banker come and give pointers on how to do an SBA loan and stuff like that, and how to get around certain obstacles. And we did another session on how to come up with a logo, business plan, stuff like that, just to help people who were in the same situation as me. We also got like psychologists coming in to go over mental health and stuff like that. Just different resources I can give back to people in my community, people who are in the same situation.
Just to hear Guild, I also found out on the website that you're creating a book that's being published. Can you tell us about that?
That one is it's not done yet. I've been working on it. Let's say 2020. It's been on the back burner because everything's been going crazy right here. But it's basically a business book detailing everything I went through, from quitting the job and just small gems to help people who are trying to go through the same thing I did. So it's almost done. I gotta find a publishing company to 12 chapters in so far. I'm just not much of a writer, so I figured I'd write a business book on everything I went through just to help others.
Just, I know my friend isn't here, but talking with him, he's impressive. You own a restaurant, you started your own nonprofit organization, you're now an author. You're opening up, like you said, a brand now that's spreading it around. I think LA too, right?
Yeah, if they call back, like I have a bunch of people interested in opening locations down there, but it's just talk until the contracts get over.
So I'm just going to end it off with any advice you would give to people who are looking to start a small business restaurant or just a small business in general that have a passion for something, maybe food or just merchandise that they would want to sell. Because I know you really started in the bottom. So what advice would you give?
Just keep swimming, keep going. Like I said, in the pandemic, getting denied by banks and stuff like that, a lot of stuff you don't have any control over or anything like that. So there's nothing you can do in certain situations except figuring it out. So it's not supposed to be easy either. If it were easy, everyone would do it. So embrace the challenge and just figure out a way to make it happen. You know, everybody's story isn't the exact same. Everybody's supposed to go through different stuff so you can get different results and stuff. So whatever you have going, research it, put in the work, and then just keep moving forward. Plans will change, you know, different circumstances will change, but keep moving forward, and you should ultimately get good results. They might not be the results that you had in mind, but they're going to be positive as long as you put forward that effort.
That's all I have. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, no problem.